In this problem, we're given 8 caskets. The caskets are counted in a funny way. Casket 1 is 1, 2 is 2, and so on until we hit 8. But then the counting started going backwards. So casket 7 was the next one counted, but it was counted as 9, and so on and so on and so on. And the direction of this counting kept reversing and reversing. Now we're supposed to figure out which of the 8 caskets will be counted as this huge number. So first of all, we need to figure out a pattern for 8 caskets. So let's start with casket 1. So first we count casket 1. And let's think of counting in a loop. I want to think about when I get back to the beginning of this loop. So 1 is counted first, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then once we hit 8, we count 7 again, but different from the first 7, because when we counted the first 7, we count upwards. Now we're counting downwards. So this 7, in comparison to the first 7, is a little bit different. So now counting down 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then we hit 1, and then we do the same thing all over again. So the counting here is in a loop of 1 to 8, and then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it's actually a mod 14 loop. Mod 14. Let's match up the remainders with the caskets. So the caskets are in blue. Caskets in blue. And mod 14 in red. So 1 is 1, 2 is 2, 3 is 3, 4 is 4, and so on. And then once we hit 8, that's the 9th thing in the loop, next up for 7, and then the 10th thing in the loop, and then the 11th thing in the loop, 12 and 13, and then once we hit 2, that's the 14th thing in the loop. Or to stick with remainders, we'll call that 0. So we want to know what happens with this huge number, 2004 to the power 2015, when we go around that many times. So now we have to figure out what that is in mod 14. So our problem is what is 2004 to the power of 2015 in mod 14. Okay, so to figure this out, the first thing that we want to do is reduce the base. So let's pop up our calculator. So 2004 divided by 14, what's this? Okay, minus 143 times 14. What's our remainder? Our remainder is 2. So we want to search for a nice pattern with powers of 2 in mod 14. So 2 to the power 0 is congruent to 1. 2 to the power 1 is congruent to 2. 2 to the power 2 is congruent to 4. 2 to the power of 3 is congruent to 8. 2 to the power 4 is congruent to 16. But let's reduce the 16. The 16 is actually the same as 2, because we can take 16 and subtract 14. So our number 2 is actually the same as 2 to the power 4, and we notice that a pattern begins here, because 2 to the power 5 will also give us the next number, and then 2 to the power 6 will give us the next number, and so on and so on and so on. So if the power is looping in a cycle of 3, we can actually convert that to the answer for this big number of 2015. So the power in mod 3 there's really three options. It can either be 1, 2, or it could be 3. I'm going to write that 3 as 0. 0 or 3. It will tell us what the answer to our problem here is about 2004 to the power of 2015. If the power in mod 3 is 1, it tells us that our answer is 2. If the power is congruent to 2 in mod 3, the answer is 4. And finally, the answer could be 8 if it's 2 to the power 3, or 2 to the power 6, or 2 to the power 9, or so on and so on. So finally, we just need to figure out what 2015 is in mod 3. So luckily enough, we have a nice mod magic trick for 2015. 2015 is congruent to 2 by adding up the digits in mod 3. So that means that our answer that we're looking for is 4. So 4 in our table above converts to 4. So the correct casket here is 4.